Hare Krishna. This was it. Okay, then we'll sing first, and then I will sing. So, please sing with me. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chandavala Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Chandavala Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya and the devotees. I have the great pleasure to introduce to you today Her Grace Manchulamani Devidasi. She's, I remember, she joined in the early 80s in Denmark. She's from Denmark originally. And when I joined in 1989, she was there, and I visited, when we were on traveling Sankirtan, I visited her preaching center, which she had together with her husband in Munich. So she had a preaching center there, and now today she's living in, and she was doing a lot of Sankirtan book distribution in those days, and still today she's doing it. And then when we bought Golokadam in 1995, she moved there with her family. Was already in the very beginning together. We were there, and she's been doing service there for the last 30 years in Golokadam. She was the project manager of the new Prasadam room and entrance, which they built there in Golokadam. And she just also studied at the GBC college to become a deputy, GBC deputy. And yeah, she has done amazing service throughout the years. And I'm so happy that she's here with us. She's taking care also together with Saranam Chintamani for the German group. And I'm really happy that you are here. And it was for her also a wonderful experience to be at the reunion, because she knew all the devotees. I think you were in Almviks also for some time.
Yes. In
Almviks she was, and in Koshnas also in the early 80s. So we are very happy to have you here, and we look very much forward to hearing from you today about Ho'oponopono, and you will explain to us what that means. Thank you. Give her a round of applause.
Hare Krishna. Now I better say something good. Is it possible that you not sit behind the chair so that I give him? Please come in front. If you want to sit on something, just take chairs. Yes. So the topic we have is called Ho'oponopono. So this is quite mystical. I hope you like it. I will first, just that we can understand the context, I will first read a verse from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, and then we will go more deeper into what is Ho'oponopono. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo So I have chosen a verse which is in the 10th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, in the 14th chapter, verse number 8. And I'm just going to read the Sanskrit, and you don't need to put it up, I just quickly read through. And because this part of the Bhagavatam, the last chapter Srila Prabhupada translated from the Bhagavatam was the 13th chapter. So this is one of the first verses, it's verse number 8, which is translated and commentated by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So in this case, I'm just going to read the verse and the translation, and then I will, because I found the same verse, Prabhupada had it somewhere in the 4th canto, and there he says what is the meaning of the verse. So we will read from Prabhupada the description. Instead of a purport proper, it's there in the 4th canto. And it will help us to understand the concept of Ho'oponopono. So, Tate nukampam shuksham vikshamano bhujane vatmi kritam vipakam Ritvak vapueptiya vidatam namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadaya pak. So the verse goes, My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering your respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. And now we go to it's like kind of a purport from Prabhupada, which is there in the 4th canto. So there, Srila Prabhupada, he's saying, the purport of this verse is that when a devotee is in a calamitous condition, he takes it as the benediction of the Supreme Lord and takes responsibility himself for his past misdeeds. In such a condition, he offers still more devotional service and is not disturbed. One who lives in such a disposition of mind, engaged in devotional service, is the most eligible candidate for promotion to the spiritual world. In other words, such a devotee's claim for promotion to the spiritual world is assured in all circumstances. So this is a very beautiful verse. It says that if you just, in the past we would say, just keep going. And in the Hridayananda Maharaj's purport, he is saying if your parents die and you have to inherit their property, their houses, their property, whatever they left after they died, you only need one quality. You need to stay alive. You have to still be living when they are passing. Then you get the inheritance. And he is comparing that to get the boon of devotional service and actually be able to return to the spiritual world. You only have to stay alive in devotional service. You only have to continue. You just have to continue. Then it works. So we have chosen the concept of Ho'oponopono, which comes from the Hawaiian culture. So Hawaii is an island, and it has a very, very ancient culture, almost as old as the Vedic culture. It goes many, many, many thousands of years back. They have kind of like a deep culture. And what is part of this culture is that there's a consciousness, we are living here on an island. And there will always be some kind of conflicts when people are together. There'll arise different kinds of opinions, different kinds of conflicts, different kinds of situations which are not so easy to overcome. So they realize, because we are living on the island, whenever there's a problem, if I have a problem with you, I have to solve the problem, because I'm on an island, so I'm gonna run into you again. So if I don't solve the problem kind of like up front in the very beginning, then the energy of the problem is gonna pollute our atmosphere, our island. So they were very conscious of that there will be difficulties. So the process of Ho'oponopono, it means to put right. You have to put things right. Opono, that's like repeated. You have to put it right, not even once, but you have to put it right. You have to put it completely in order, your personal relationships. So this is, it's based on 4 principles which we can find throughout the whole Bhagavatam, and throughout the whole process of devotional service we will find the same 4 principles. And one of the first principles Srila Prabhupada, he is speaking about here, that is the principles of take responsibility for himself, for his past misdeeds. So this is one of the principles. I will just mention the 4 principles, or actually it's packed in a. The principle is packed in a kind of like a mantra or a prayer, that when you have a problem with one person, you need to go to that person and you need to directly approach them and you need to say to them, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. So these are 4 very, very simple things. So taking personal responsibility, if there is a difficult situation, you have a clinch with somebody, and you want to solve the problem, the understanding according to the Hawaiian way is that every person who is like engaged in a problem has 100% responsibility. One may say, no, that cannot be. How is that possible? That will make 200% responsibility. One have 100 and another have 100? No, it should be 50-50. But no, they say if I am karmically involved in a situation which is a conflict, I have contributed 100% from my side to the problem. So I am 100% responsible. So therefore I have to recognize my responsibility, and I have at the same time say I'm sorry. I have to say, by the recognition, sometimes there is a problem between 2 persons, and the one person even say, I have no idea what I did wrong. Did such a person reflect on the situation? He said, I'm innocent, I didn't do anything wrong, I don't know what I did wrong. So this is not the way of the Ho'oponopono of conflict resolution. The way of conflict resolution is that every party within the conflict takes 100% responsibility and says, what is my part in this? I have to really look at this. What did I contribute to this situation? And by saying, I'm sorry, you kind of like acknowledge your responsibility. And then the second part of the prayer is to sincerely ask for forgiveness. And this we also know in the whole Vaishnava culture. This is a big part of our culture, that we ask for forgiveness. So this can help to clean any bad feelings which are there when you ask for forgiveness. You can clean the bad energy which is there, because you're not only saying you're sorry, but you also really want to be forgiven. So this is like the next step. And then the third step, this may be really a little bit difficult to understand, that you just have to say to another person, I love you. That may not be so, you think, this is like one of the most difficult things to say to somebody, I love you. But in the Hawaiian way, they have a very interesting understanding, because although Hawaii is thousands of miles away from India, or from where the Vedic culture was, still they had a deep understanding of the concept of the soul and the super soul. They had some Hawaiian names to them. I don't really remember the names of this, but there is the soul, there's the individual soul, and then there's the higher soul or the super soul. So the concept of the super soul is like we find in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we find a verse, and if you go in to study the concept of the Hawaiian culture, what the super soul is, or the higher self is, you can practically just read this verse to them, and they'll say, yes, that's it. So it says in 13:23, yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, and who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. So this quality of being the overseer, somebody who is like a witness to our activity, that's the concept of what is God in the heart. God in the heart is a witness, and he is the overseer, and he is also the permitter. So this is the same, and they have more qualities. He is the friend. That's also our understanding, how the Lord in the heart is the friend of all living entities. And they also have a very, almost like a Brahman understanding how he's connected to everything. So that's also kind of like our understanding. So when I look somebody in the eye and say the prayer, I say I love you. So I say I love you to you as the individual soul, but I also say I love you to the higher self, to this, like we say namaste. We say I offer respect to the divine in you. So this is like the same kind of a concept. So you say I love you, you're approaching both the soul and the super soul. So then it may become a little easier, because it's not so easy to say something, look somebody in the eye and say, I love you. It's not so easy. We have to overcome it, even maybe within our family, even our children, or our husband or wife. Maybe that's even difficult to say, you know. So it's not an easy thing. So, so the last part of the prayer is thank you. So we know that within the, even now, modern, esoteric, whoever is doing some kind of self-development or some kind of whatever is happening in the world today, there's a whole culture of gratitude. You can even find people who say you have to, in the evening, you have to write in your gratitude journal. And you have to express what you're grateful for. And then also the concept is, if you can express all the things you're grateful for, like really truly honest, then these things which you are grateful for, they will grow. You know, if you don't concentrate your mind on the things which are not good, if you concentrate yourself on gratitude. So gratitude is the last part of this process. So we have like 4 things that we express to resolve a conflict. And the first is, I'm sorry, I take responsibility. The second is, please forgive me. The third is, I love you. And the fourth is, thank you. So I have some papers, and I would like everybody to write on this small piece of paper. You can write in English. We can go through it together. You can write these 4 sentences in English, or and on the back maybe you write it in your native language that it really touches you. So I will give out these. This is just what I could find quickly here in the house. Nothing special. Okay, take a pen and send it on. Yeah, we don't need to start writing before we just discussed what is the first one. You have pen? You want this one? It's nice to have like this small piece that you can take with you. Yeah, that we go to now. You want one? Yeah, of course. Okay, take a pen and give it on, that everybody has no pen. We need to use the pen. You all have pens. So we have repeated it now a few times, but like Astasita say, what is the first one? So can somebody say what is the first one before you start writing? What is the first point of the prayer? Somebody? No, you. Somebody say what is the first one? No, yeah, I'm sorry. We keep it. It's like a sutra. We keep it like really short and sweet, because it's something you have to look somebody in the eye and say. So the mantra is, I'm sorry. So you can put that down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know in different languages it is different. How is it in Swedish? I'm sorry?
Yes. Or förlåt.
Forlåt, ursäkta mig. Ursäkta mig. In Danish it's undskyld. And that actually has a deeper meaning because that's the bad, evil. So you say evil is responsible when you're excusing yourself. That's just the Danish culture. You don't want to take responsibility. But okay, so everybody has the first one?
In Ukrainian it's пробач мені.
Huh?
In Ukrainian it's пробач мені. Пробач мені.
That sounds very nice. Prabach Mini. Prabach Mini. Yes. So you can write on the front side, you can write the English version, because if you need to exchange with somebody who only speaks English, and you can write on the back side, you can write your native version. And the second one? Somebody? What? Please forgive me. Yes. So forgive me is good, but please is even, there's more kindness in it if you say please forgive me. So that's, so you say please forgive me, and you put it in your native tongue, maybe on the second side. And somebody knows the third line? You know the third line? Some of you know the third line? I love you. Very difficult line. There is even like great personalities like Louisa Hay, which I personally sent books to, and she wrote back and thanked for the books. So even persons like she had like a method that you should stand in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. And it's like so difficult. It's so difficult. But if you have the Hawaiian way of understanding, then it becomes more easy, because your love, it's not only for the person, it's also for the divinity in the person, for the super soul, for Krishna actually. So it can help you become, if you broaden your way of seeing another person, that you don't see the person only as the individual soul, but you also see how Krishna is present in every person, then it can maybe become a little more easy for you to go up to somebody and say, I love you. It is, everybody responds to love. So it's a very strong sentence. And sometimes in the Hawaiian way, there is also, the mantra is also sometimes said like this: I love you and I love me. So it's turned in, and that can make it more difficult, because the love of the self, it's, we know ourselves, we know all our faults and shortcomings, and it's not so easy to really have love and appreciation for ourselves. So there is a help which is there, but that's actually in our scripture, if you understand how is Krishna's qualities. Oh, Krishna, he is the most beautiful, he's the most cunning, he's the most kind. Ananta Shesha, he would speak his qualities endlessly, and he never comes to an end. All the divine and beautiful qualities of Krishna. So we can very easily have love for Krishna because of who he is. Not just because he's the supreme, but there are all these beautiful attributes and qualities, and it can awaken within us some real love. So if we have that understanding that we are a part of that, I'm a part of that, then I'm actually, Krishna, he's the most lovable of all. But because I'm a small, teensy part of that, I'm also lovable. It's not only for Krishna to be lovable, because I'm part of Krishna. So this understanding can help, You know, that you, when you use the mantra, I love you, and you say, and I love me, that it's because I am lovable. And why am I lovable? Yeah, I'm an individual, eternal spirit soul, but I'm part of the most lovable. Therefore, of course, I'm lovable. So it can become a very beautiful experience, actually, and very healing to also understand oneself, who am I actually? So, and then the last line, somebody remember?
Thank you.
Thank you. So, gratitude, gratitude. A very, very special quality. And this you will find in all cultures, the power of gratitude. So, we can make a small experiment. Are you ready? You want to try out the 4 sentences? Saying it to another person? Oh. You know, the idea is if you live on an island, that's the whole Hawaiian understanding. You live on an island, and you have to again and again and again. You cannot run away from the people who are there. And in one sense, we are on a Hare Krishna island, you know, in any temple, you know. So we are going to meet the same persons again and again and again. So if there is conflicts, they have a very special quality because they can linger for years. It's not that there is some saying time will heal everything, but that actually I have not seen that being true, especially on the emotional level. If somebody is hurt emotionally, 10 years later, they are still hurt if it has not been resolved. And like she was speaking about yesterday, how all of these emotions, they are burdening our system. You know, we become, you know, we have to carry all of this. So the Hawaiian way is, as soon as possible, you solve any personal conflict, because it's taking away your energy for doing something else. Yes?
Can I ask you? I know in Gestalt therapy, people have, for example, situation like problem, conflict, yes, and if they don't say like I'm sorry with this situation, and if they don't find the solution of the situation, they can close this Gestalt. Gestalt is like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing Ho'oponopono today because it's super simple and everybody can get it. And I know there are many different kinds of therapy. I mentioned Louise Hay because she liked Krishna consciousness. She took all the people, her patients, she took to the chanting of Hare Krishna. You know, she liked that. So, and her philosophy about loving the self, well, it was very powerful. And she saw how by this self-love that most of the people got healed, you know, of deeper trauma. So it's like, but there are hundreds of different kinds of therapies and Peck Scott was mentioned, and you know, all kinds of, there are so many different. So we keep it very simple. Ho'oponopono is very simple. So it is for one's own benefit to clear the conflict as soon as possible. You know, because it will drain our system if we linger on a conflict. 20 years later, as soon as we hear about, we just need one word, and then immediately the conflict comes up. You know, oh, at that time, blah, 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 blah. And we still feel the pain of it. It's not that the pain is gone, the pain is still there. So, but if the conflict is properly resolved by 2 responsible persons, then one is actually set free. So that's a very powerful thing.
Yes, it's very important to like close this gestalt, because if this gestalt open, you have this problem always, and you should close.
Yeah, you should close it. Therefore, the last, actually, the thank you is also a thank you to the process of letting go. The thank you has more, it's not just thank you, but it's also thank you for the situation that created this problem, and thank you that we got a closure, and thank you now we're letting go. So thank you has many levels, and in sometimes when you see the Ho'oponopono mantra, you will see that thank you is repeated 2 times, and I love you is also repeated more times, because you have to sometimes just go deeper and deeper so that it actually touches you and affects you. Okay, 2 persons, 2 persons, 2 persons. You want to be with the other person? Yeah? And you go 2 and 2? Phones down, 2 persons, 2 persons. And just try to look in the person's eye, and just yeah, very good. Very good. You look in the person's eye, and you can each repeat it like 3 times. You need a little bit to get.
I'm sorry. More very quick.
Oh, I think I didn't. Okay, they are all there. So, Haribo. You need a person? Udava, you come to me. We do one. You wrote down the lines?
No, I just started.
Oh, you just came, so you don't know what we're doing.
No.
Okay, I say something.
Here.
You give me.
I'll turn it on this side.
Other side. Yeah. So you can take Sridhar Kitchen Maharaj in your room. Yeah. So if we had a big problem here between us, problem gone. It's a process of resolving problematic situations. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can come back. So this is a very practical thing. It's actually something you can really do. And the more you do it, I just had a funny realization, because I was in the ashram with all these ladies, and then another lady came, and she put on a small heater. And I'm completely allergic to things that runs through the night, like the fan, and the whole, So I cannot take it. But I was kind of like asking, are you going to have this machine running the whole night? And she was like, yes, it's so cold, I get sick. And saying, okay. So I was just laying there and I was thinking, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And it went through a few times. And this lady, she had already kind of like fallen asleep. But then she kind of like woke up and she pushed the heater over and it's like on when it's stand up, and if it's on the side, it's out. So this process is very powerful. The main person who in the West who took it from Hawaii and he started to use it, he became in charge of a prison, which was the highest criminals, which kind of like murders and rapists and child molesters and like the bad criminals, dons, mafia bosses and people like that. So this was high security prison, and he was in charge of kind of like developing the place. So he sat in his office and he kept using this mantra, taking responsibility. And it took time, but the whole quality of the prison changed. The people changed. They didn't need to be single confined. In the beginning, everybody had to be single confined because if they came out, they would fight. But they didn't need to be like that anymore. They could be like open, and they wanted to change. They wanted to study. They wanted to contribute. They wanted to help. But he sat there for months, just taking responsibility, asking for forgiveness, sending out deep, deep love and gratitude. And this energy was just so powerful that it changed hardened criminals. So of course, the main part in that process was a deep faith and commitment. But yes, I wanted to end with that small story. Maybe there are some questions or some comments? Yes?
Yeah, I was thinking that when you said this example of the prison, for example, one doesn't have to face the person necessarily that it is about, but one can do it at a distance,
Yes.
just in one's heart,
Yes.
directing it to a
Yes.
certain incident and person, right?
Yeah.
And that can still be powerful.
Yeah, I mean that was this small example with my heater, because I didn't say it, loud. I was just doing the process. It's the words is not the part. The part is really the process of going into actually taking responsibility and feeling sorry. That's the first step, and really asking for forgiveness that this situation has come. And then really sending genuine, unconditional love. So it has to be, it's not that when you turn off the heater, I'm going to love you, it has to be unconditional. So sending out that energy of love, and then the gratitude. And then kind of like miracles can happen. And it's because it's not always easy when there is a situation that is like a conflict to directly approach the person. That may be too hurtful. And also, like I was saying in the beginning, that sometimes the other person may say, I have no idea what I did. They are not ready to go through the process of taking responsibility. So then it really doesn't work from their side. But you can free yourself from your side. So it can do like you can go into the process in even with the person who has passed. If your parents died and your situation was not resolved, you can even go into the process and resolve the relationship. And you will have some kind of confirmation that it's resolved. It will come in different kinds of ways. Either emotionally, it can come in dreams. You will have some kind of confirmation for you that the situation is resolved. So it's a very powerful process. Hawaiian people, the original indigenous people, they were very spiritual. They had all kinds of words for. They had like in Greenland, they have more than 50 words for snow because they know about snow, and there are so many different varieties. So the Hawaiian people, there are many words for the concept of God and the super soul and spiritual awakening. There are all kinds of words for this. They have lots of and this is just a very small part of the culture, conflict resolution, which has become like famous in the West. In Germany, one of the devotees in Germany, Vaishnava, and his wife Asamurti, they started writing books on this topic, and it went on the esoteric bestseller lists, and they started doing seminars on the topics, and I think Rasamurti, she has passed now, but before she passed, they had up to 7 books out, and they had always seminars going on, and all kinds of people come. And they would also, when the seminar was close to Golokadam, they would always come and see the temple and chant and have a kirtan and like that. So very nice, very nice. Yes.
Is it something you use in Golokadam? Like all the devotees are aware of this?
Yeah, I mean the time when Vaishnava started this process, this is like 12, 15 years ago. We were like the guinea pig. You know, we were like the testing. He was saying, "Oh, we have a conflict. Wonderful. let's go for it. Let's use the Ho'oponopono and let's see what happens." You know. So we did lots of that, like years of that, because also the seminars were often held in Abenteuer, where they had facility and house and where people could stay overnight and like that. Because the seminar was usually there was like between 30 and 40 people in each batch. So as each group was like that, and he had like seminar 1, seminar 2, seminar 3, seminar 4. So you could kind of like, you had to go through a whole school, and then the 5th one, then you could become like a teacher of this also. So it went very deep. This stuff goes very deep because it's a very deep culture. And the beautiful thing about this is that Hawaii and India, they're so far apart, but if truth is truth, it's always truth, you know, it's absolute. We say the absolute truth. So it's they because it's the truth, how Krishna is in the heart and all of these transcendent subject matters, they have other words for it, but they are speaking about the same truth. Something else? Yes.
Danger I foresee is, for example, let's say that now we became inspired by this, then tomorrow someone comes to me and says, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you." I might feel that, okay, this is some kind of mantra that we just recite when there's a conflict, but is it really like coming from the genuine feeling of actually I'm sorry? Because sometimes you meet this person and they just start speaking to you, and you're just, or when they listen to you, and you just see that how they're using all these kind of relationship tools and things, and you just feel like you're a person and they're just using their different tools and techniques for improving the relationship, and it's not coming from that.
It's not genuine. Yeah. So that is whatever spiritual process you go through. Even our process, the chanting is also, it has to be genuine. You know, we also have to be genuine. We actually have to want to serve Krishna. You know, you can stand and serve, but if you don't really feel like a servant, you know, the people can feel it. You know. So everything has to be genuine, and especially asking for forgiveness and saying I love you. This has to be really genuine. Otherwise, it doesn't have the effect. The effect actually only comes through the deepness and the honesty of it. That's where the effect comes. So if somebody come up to you and like you feel they are saying like so you can ask if they say I'm sorry, then you can you please elaborate? What are you sorry for? You know, and if they have to elaborate on it, that means if they can elaborate on it and take responsibility, then they have actually thought about it. You understand what I mean? If you say, I'm sorry, okay. If somebody asks, please forgive me, Prabhu. This we have on the devotees, we all have, please. Why do you want forgiveness? You want to be forgiven for what? You know, so then it becomes, then you can see, is there something behind it? So you can use it, you know, but you can also challenge it to see if it's genuine. It's very important. We have to be genuine. I mean, we cannot come face to face with the Supreme Lord without being genuine. It's not going to happen. That's why this verse, I started with this verse, how it has become our rightful claim. But why does it become our rightful claim? Because whatever happens to us on the path of devotional service, we just really accept it, and we continue our devotional service. We go on. So we are genuine. We kind of like accept. So this mood of, it's very important. So you can challenge it. Just don't accept an excuse if it's not genuine. It has to be genuine. But the idea of the 200%, that everybody, if there is a conflict, that you are 100% responsible. And sometimes you see the conflict and you really think it's the other. You really think it's the other. And you're completely convinced of blaming. That's kind of like your mode. But then the conflict cannot resolve. But if you see, okay, I see there were some things on the other side that I cannot control, but what did I do? What did I do? Did I have like some project? You have to be in charge of some project. Let's say you have to be in charge of some project. But in the beginning, you didn't make clear guidelines of what that means. So I'm responsible that I started a project without a proper plan, without proper guidelines, without proper, vision. So because I said yes to a project without it being, properly said what is actually supposed, I'm responsible. I should have in the beginning said, what is the guideline, what is the vision, what is the plan, how I'm going to go. So for that I'm responsible. So you can always take responsibility, even if you think it's the other, but it's not. You are responsible because you kind of like said yes to something, then you're responsible. Responsible is a very beautiful word because you are response able. You're able to respond. Yes, something else? Yeah.
How do you feel sorry about something, but you have broken a trust issue, and feel that even though I would say sorry now genuinely, this person will not trust me since there is a broken trust. How do you approach that?
The quality of trust is always developed by repeated experience. You cannot, we speak about blind trust and it doesn't work. But if you have again and again an experience that this person is, that you can trust this person, we always say that a positive experience, it counts like 3, but the negative experience counts like 7. So if you have a negative, you have to do at least double, when not more, positive experiences, just to get the negative experience out. So negative experience, they just have more weight. So mistrust, you have to prove yourself that you are trustworthy. And that not just one time, again and again and again and again and again. It may take a long time. But you can still, like Asta City said, you can still continue the process on your side. Something else?
Can I ask?
Yes.
In practice, this the person who died?
Yes. Yes, I said that. You can do it. It's very powerful with person. Yeah. It's very purifying for yourself also. You know, to resolve a conflict with a person who has already left is very important.
It's not a conflict, it's without
Yeah, see how much energy it takes from you. It's in you. You know. Huh? Ja, die hier ist auf dem Bild. Ja. Ja. There are two things. The person still exists. The person has left the body and the person still exists. So you can still take contact with the person and do the process of forgiveness, if that is what you need. Or really doing the process of offering your genuine love.
Because I was not there for her in the...
Yes, this is the most painful.
It didn't form.
Yes, so you feel guilty that you could not. So yeah. So this there are two things that you can do it. Just do it now because the person is still there. The person exists. It's an eternal soul. It's there, and that person may even linger because of feeling your emotions. So it's also helpful that the person can go, that all forgiveness is given, all love is given, all whatever resentment, all the energy is cleaned for the person. And the second point is, for all of us, all the time, get our stuff in order in relationships. We have to have clean and pure relationship with everybody around us. Because they can leave at any point. And the worst thing is to not have closure with a person. You know, one person died in Germany many years back, Padmanabha. You know Padmanabha. He died, you know Padmanabha also, yes, he died. And he had a glorious death, in his own way. He went too early, but because I had a very clear and loving relationship with him, of course I was sad, but I was also, okay, he is gone. There was not this burden of tears and if I had had a conflict with him, it would have been completely different. You remember Rati, when she left? When she called me on the phone like 1 week before and she was, you have to forgive me, I was so heavy, you have to forgive me, So it got resolved, but like really in the end. But that was very good for her, she could go, She was saying, oh, I was so heavy. She was really heavy. But in the moment when she asked for forgiveness in the end, you could just give her love because she came to the realization. You didn't think, I didn't start counting all the times she was heavy to me because, it's okay. It's okay. You just go with love. So there are two things, but the soul can still receive from you all your kindness, all your love, all your, It's very important that it's very important also that we feel sad when we don't have the association of a person anymore. That's also, but if the relationship is completely clean, there's no resentment, no grudges, nothing, then somebody leaves and they have a glorious death, you're good. You're good. You don't feel that kind of how, a small scratch and tears coming and that's because they're still unresolved matters.
I think it's very common that a person dies. You have this kind of feeling.
Oh, of
Why
course.
wasn't I there? Why
Yes.
did I belong? Why?
Yeah.
I know my mother died before and it was the same.
Yes, and especially as devotees, we feel very deeply responsible because a little bit of Ganges water, tulsi leaf, and some prayers can just send that soul off, for such a perfect next destination. Therefore, we feel especially responsible when we are not there, when they leave. That's because we can really make a change if we are there at the time of death.
But see, that's the sudden, I didn't know even she was sick.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, there's a long day in front of everybody today, so let's stop here. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Right.